Jackson here, what was the date?
May 7th, I think.
May 7th at Whitensville Golf Course, Country Club. This guy got a hole-in-one. He's our number 2 golfer here. He's gonna make a hole-in-one plaque. So the first step is he has to glue some pieces together, and I wanted to show you just how we do that. Anytime we're gluing things together, what I have the kids do is I have them get the grain the way they like it. Like they look at both sides and see what they like the most. Once they have it laid out like that, we mark the boards A, B, B, C, C, and then I put an X on one side and an X on the opposite side, and we stack them up. He's gonna bring this over to the joiner now, and what Jackson's gonna do is he's gonna look at the board. If he sees an X, he's gonna put it down towards the windows we have here, or towards the fence, okay? And he wants to hold this board tight to the fence, his fingers up high. You don't want your fingers going down in there. Fingers up as high as you can right here, with your thumb kind of pulling. So you're actually gonna be kind of doing this kind of a pressure, keeping it tight to the fence. We'll turn this on. He's gonna run it across just like this. In this case, I can see there's a little space there. So he'll run this one a couple times. About this speed. Now this is an outside piece, so it only has one X. The 2 inside pieces, he's gonna have to do both edges. The X is always gonna go down and against the fence, okay? Grab some safety glasses and you can continue. By Jackson jointing those with one X one way, one X the other way, we've created complementary angles. So as you can put these on here, AA, BB, CC. As he puts these together, it makes it so that it'll come out perfectly flat. Well, perfectly flat. So you're gonna lay them down, Jackson, AA, BB, put them in order. Just like that, and we'll see what the joints look like first. Make sure it looks good and there's nothing wrong. That's a nice tight fit. So now all he's going to do, he's going to stand this one up, and this one up. We don't need to stand the last one up because we're not gluing it to the clamps. We're just going to glue these 3 edges. So when we're gluing, when I edge glue, you can put some glue on there, okay? When I edge glue, I only put glue on one edge, all right? If I'm doing end grain, a lot of times I'll either load up one side a lot or I'll do both end grain pieces, because end grain is not a great joint anyway, and you should probably have some sort of other type of joiner, like a dowel or a spline or something to help you with that kind of a joint. But end grain, I would put glue on both surfaces, but this is such a strong joint. When you go edge to edge, you just have to put glue on one edge. And here's my tip of the day. When I glue, I put this much glue down the middle, just like this, Jackson. And I take my finger, and let's see if I can show you this. I hook it over the top so that there's a little bit of a space in the middle. As I bring my finger back, you're gonna see that the glue kind of stays right there in the middle. So it's practically spread when I'm all done. I always have, the beginning doesn't have a lot of glue. I always put the remaining glue at the beginning, and then I go ahead and make sure I have it to both edges. Now the way you know that you have the right amount of glue is you should be able to see the grain through the glue. If you can't, then you probably have a little bit too much. And I'd rather have a little too much than too little. You don't want to have a starved joint. And then we'll just lay these down and we'll put pressure. We want to make sure our clamps are about 1 inch in from each end, and then I'll put one in the middle on the top, because all the pressure of these clamps are going to be kind of pulling down. So we're going to even that pressure by putting one on top at the end and bring that pressure kind of equaling it out. One of the things that I do when I'm gluing up with kids is, you know, I'll go like this, and I'll have the glue on my finger, and I'll go like that. Oh, it's so good. And they're like wondering why I do that. And I tell them it's soybean based. And then just before they're about to put it in their mouth and try it themselves, I stop them. Yeah, so don't eat the glue, okay? All right, we're gonna slide these in. Grab this, grab that. We slide them together. We'll line the ends up as best we can. And again, whenever we're gluing a panel up, we want to make sure that we leave a little extra when we cut them. We don't cut them to perfect length, because we're going to cut them the perfect length later. So now we can apply a little bit of pressure there. I make sure that it's tight to the clamps, because the clamps are flat. And then go grab one more clamp, Jackson, put it on top right here in the middle, and we are good to go. So I hope you enjoyed the woodshop class for today. I'm gonna go back to Aiden and see where we're at, and you can see the next step on the nail trick.